Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a paid advertising. TheOnlyGround.com, the THE onlyground.com is one of the most amazing places for information that I consistently go to. If you guys want to have conversations about our old interviews or even topics that we don't discuss, the group of people that are on the onlyground.com message boards are some of the most brilliant that I have ever come across. Those little like knick-knack facts that we get here and there, that's where a lot of it comes from. Please check out the link in the bio.
Welcome to the show. I am MMA insider and Herb Dean's dog sitter, Joey Venti, and you're listening to the MMA History Podcast, the only podcast dedicated 100% to the preservation of mixed martial arts history. Interviews and stories about the early days of MMA direct from the men who lived it. Hundreds of interviews, thousands of hours of research, all conducted by the most obsessed mind in the business, the MMA detective Mike Davis. Join us as we document the history of the sport we all love. Welcome back to the MMA History Podcast. I am Joey Venti. I'm here with the host of the show, Mike Davis. He is the MMA detective. I am Herb Dean's dog sitter, and we have a special episode for you today. On today's show, we sit down with welterweight legend and 50 Fight Club member, a veteran of the UFC and just about everywhere else, the one and only Brock Larson. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
So, Brock, let's talk about your journey. Combat sports, we can probably agree it started with wrestling. At what age did you start?
Well, I started wrestling. I started in kindergarten, then I took elementary, and then I was off a couple of years because parents couldn't get me to wrestling. And then got a late bus, so I started back in 6th grade, and then fell in love with the sport of wrestling, and ended up being a state runner-up. And then started coaching afterwards, and coached for 5 years, and then kind of took on to MMA and started that journey.
Okay, so you placed obviously in high school. Did you wrestle in college?
I did. I went to Itasca Community College. Academically, it wasn't solid, and then I got put on academic suspension. Yes, academic
Wait,
suspension
in junior college?
at a junior college. Yes,
I've been there. It is possible.
Yeah. So we got there, and and once they said, you're gonna go on academic suspension, you can't wrestle. I said, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys. I quit. One of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. And but like I always said, because of that mistake, it always ate at me. Like I always felt like I could have been an All-American. I could have done all this stuff that everybody always says they could do, right? So when it came to like quitting my job and jumping into the UFC, I had 2 fights in the UFC. And I'm like, I reflected back on that, and I didn't want to be like, hey, I could have been a world champion in the UFC. I could have been a world champion in MMA. I could have been. So I'm like, screw it. I'm jumping in, and I took a leave of absence from my union job, and boom.
You got it going. Okay, here. So you were doing road construction. So union, what dude, we got a plug. Wait, let's do plugs. What are you doing right now?
Right now, I own a small school in St. Cloud, Minnesota. We got about 100 students ish, mostly jiu-jitsu. We got a fight team of about 10 to 15 guys that just truly love fighting. If they didn't love it, they wouldn't be in there right now, because we're not an MMA school by any means. So we just, we have like 5 days that we focus on MMA. The rest is all jiu-jitsu, grappling, Muay Thai, and the rest of the arts. So, but I'm there in St. Cloud at start, and we have a fun little team.
That's good. All right. So you're in the union. What local?
Local 78, Christian Labor Union.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right. So you're doing road work, and was it Team Bison that you started at?
No, I was always at Minnesota Martial Arts Academy, the academy. I
With
started
Greg Nelson. Okay.
with Greg Nelson. I literally started in my buddy's garage and the wrestling room in Brainerd. And the weird way it started had nothing. I had never had any ambitions of doing MMA. I was never like I want to be a professional football player, right? I mean, nowadays people see UFC all the time. And it's like, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. It wasn't really a thing back then, right? So, but my buddy called me up one day and was like, hey, I want to do this MMA stuff, like the UFC, like Hoist Gracie stuff. I'm like, okay. He's like, but I don't know how to wrestle. I don't know how to grapple. I need you to teach me. I'm like, okay, I'll teach you how to wrestle. And then we bought videotapes. Mind you, late 90s, early 2000s.
Wait. Hold up. Joey, that's one of the boxes we check for old school guys. Yep. All right, go. You got to learn.
Did you
from
buy
VHS.
The videos?
Yeah, you got to watch VHS. All right, go ahead. There's a couple other boxes that are about to get checked. Go ahead.
And so we're watching these videotapes that we bought from the Gracies, right? And they're in everything's in Portuguese. And we're trying to figure out what an Americana is. And they're like saying, paint the brush, paint the mat. And we're like, what? And like, it was so hard. One, we didn't understand them. We're rewinding it 100 times.
So you guys are reverse engineering.
Yeah.
And as we've discussed, I think the three of us had scholastic issues. So you wouldn't be the only one in this conversation having problems there. Okay.
Are these the Henzo tapes? Because those were the popular ones at the time.
It was Henzo. It was Henzo. It was like the old ones that you seen him on a beach. Like, this is Henzo fighting people on the beach. Watch his technique. And they're narrating it in Portuguese.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
It's like a World Star video. Yeah, it's like a World Star video. You're trying to, okay.
Yeah. And it was crazy. And so we watched those tapes. I actually was just telling the story today. We were doing heel hooks from X-Guard today in class. And I was telling we have a kid that wrestled at Iowa that transferred to St. Cloud State who is training with us now. And he was doing a heel hook. I'm like, you won't, they're like, I don't feel it in my ankle. I'm like, you won't feel it in your ankle, you'll feel it in your knee. But then I told him the story. Like, when we were watching videotapes and we're watching here, all of us were thinking our ankle was going to hurt. And all of us were like, no, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. The next day, all of us come back to the wrestling room limping, like, oh, my knee hurts really bad. We're like, I guess that's what heel hooks do, is they torque your knee. So we were idiots. I mean, we were complete knuckleheads. So we did that for about 2 years. We actually went in the yellow pages and found a jiu-jitsu gym, which was Minnesota Martial Arts Academy down in the cities. And we're like, oh, let's pick a fight with these guys. No
Smart.
idea what they were, right?
Hey, you go 2 for 2 on good decisions. Yeah. Okay.
So we called them and was like, hey, we want to come up and spar with you guys. And luckily I think it was Andy Grahn probably answered the phone.
Hey, did you mention your proficiency in street fighting as well?
Well, not yet. We hadn't got to that point.
Okay.
But we thought we were really tough, right? Because we were beating each other up really well. And so we called the academy and they're like, hey, no need to come down here and spar us. We're having our first tournament, which was the submission hunt, the very first submission hunt. We're like, whoa, a tournament. Awesome. Right. So we fly down there the next week and do the tournament. And we both end up winning the tournament. Don't know how. Right.
Points. Yeah. Points.
And,
okay.
I had a lot of takedowns. And then we're like, hey, you should come. And Sherk was doing a super fight with oh my God, he fought in a lot of King of the Cages. Oh.
Is he a Minnesota guy?
No. He was a California guy, I think.
Javi Vasquez?
No.
I might have it, Joey.
This is
you know what, dude? We talked about it in the Sherk interview. Shit. Go ahead, keep going.
They went, and I'm watching those guys do things, and Sherk standing on his head and flipping his hips around and like shucking them by, and I'm like, holy cow, we gotta start training with those guys. So then we started making the 2 hours.
It was Chris Brennan.
Chris Brennan, yes, thank you.
Dude, look at that, Joey. Wait.
That's why he's the MMA detective.
Look at that, dude. All right, go ahead.
And so we seen that, and I'm like, dude, I got to train with that guy. And then, so then started driving down 3 days a week when I was laid off. So I got laid off in the wintertime. So
So your beginning journey started with Sherk.
Yes.
Okay. And a little side note for everybody, Sherk also was thrown out of junior college because he just wasn't he wasn't acclimated. He just wanted to wrestle, but he didn't have an outlet. So that's one thing in common you guys had.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's cool.
And so the first time I went down there, I trained with Sean, and I wanted to quit.
I can imagine.
I'm like, this isn't fair. I can't. This isn't even what the hell just happened. Not to mention, that's one thing because he's built like a maniac and he looks the part.
But and he's got cardio.
Yeah, but then you got these little dorky nerd guys who have no athletic ability, and they're triangle choking me and choking me out. I'm like, my ego was not handling it, and but they're like petting me like a little dog. It's okay. Just come back again. You'll get better. You'll get better.
So insulting.
I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just kept coming and ended up. So my buddy, who I was supposed to be the coach for, he ended up getting like competition anxiety.
What was his name? What was his name?
Jared Fairbairn.
Okay.
And he still trains. He's a black belt.
Good.
But he couldn't compete. He would vomit before.
Okay.
Gonna do it. So he's like, Brock, you got to fight. I'm like, there's no way I'm fighting. I'm getting my ass kicked by Sherk every day, dude. That's a fighter. I'm not a fighter. And Sean, I remember him coming up and he's like, dude, you got to do it just once. Just do one fight. Don't be a pussy. I'm like, okay, I'll do one fight, but that's it.
So Brock, there's no stats for people in activity in top position, I guarantee in terms of like power punches landed from top position and guard, I think Sherk is by far and away number one. I don't know anybody with a more active guard than he is. I've never seen it if it exists.
No, he was a maniac.
Even at the highest levels. Highest levels.
I mean, yeah. Matt, UFC 98, Matt Hughes came up and chose me, Sean, and Matt Hughes were all on the same card. And all three of us trained together. We did our whole training camps together. And I had a easier time with Matt than I did with Sean.
Yeah. So in our interview with Sean, he lost 3-2 in terms of rounds. If he would have changed his game plan, if he would have went in with a better game plan, he beats Matt Hughes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I got to ask this. So Matt Hughes and Sean Sherk fight for the title. I think I got it right here. They fight for the title. And prior to that, I'm at the Myth, like back in the day. And you and Matt Hughes rolled together at the Myth.
Yep.
I don't have, I've been taking notes for like the last 25 years, but I don't have a date on that. I just had nightclub, Larson.
That was UFC 98.
That was UFC 98. Okay.
That was that camp.
Okay. So that was after the Hughes Sherk fight. Because I always think it was because Hughes is a bit of a gamesman. And because Sherk refused to roll with Matt until they had fought, I figured maybe this was Hughes kind of sampling of what Sherk might have from. Okay.
He was up for like 3 weeks and we trained together, and there was fights at the Myth, and I had someone of my teammates were fighting or something like that.
Yeah.
And Nick Gamps at the time was like, I'm like, dude, we don't have a cage at the academy. Can we come early? And he's like,
yeah, I was there for that.
Yeah, you guys can.
Yeah. I was there for that. Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. Oh, okay. So your first fight, wait. So you didn't start with Mike Riley. You started at the academy with Greg Nelson. When do you connect? Like, what year do you connect with Dave Camarillo?
You're talking years. I don't know, but we were under Pedro Sauer. So our school was under Greg, under Pedro.
Of course.
So but I had a really good friend and really good instructor, Clint, who trained at the academy as well. And he had a little more money than the rest of us. I mean, a lot more. And he would make all these trips for jiu-jitsu, and he met Dave Camarillo. And he comes back and he's like, guys, I think you guys should be Dave's affiliate and blah, 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 right? So actually Brainerd, Minnesota was Dave Camarillo's first affiliate gym. Little fun fact for you.
That's badass.
And so I got my blue belt from Pedro, and then my
Purple.
purple, brown, and black all came from Dave.
Okay.
But I don't know the timeline when.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So your first fight on record is October 19th, 2002. It was at American Reality Combat against Josh Hartwell. Is this your actual first fight, or is there one prior?
That was, well, yes, we'll say yes.
Okay.
There were some things that we had done, but the first real one. And it was interesting because I had coached against Josh Hartwell. He was a state runner-up from Alexandria. And
so it's wrestler versus wrestler.
so, of course, my first fight, I'm fighting someone who's got the same skill set as I am. And I'm like, I can't just take him down.
Who was the promoter?
The promoter was Iron Man, Travis Fulton.
Travis Fulton promoted that.
Yes.
I did not know that. Okay. Okay.
Travis Fulton promoted my first 2 fights, I believe.
The Iowa Winter Warriors. I thought that was Rick Tazza.
It was his cage. Okay. It was actually, that one was Tom Schmidt.
Tom Schmidt. Okay.
But they used all his rings, his ring, not his cage.
Tom Schmidt, husband of Kelly Cobold. Okay.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So
your first fight, Josh Hartwell.
Josh Hartwell.
Did you find out in the locker room you guys were fighting, or did you know before?
No, we knew. We were actually supposed to fight like 6 months prior in Ada, Minnesota, which is a very small town just before you get to Fargo, North Dakota. Bruce Nelson. I don't know if you know Bruce Nelson.
Of course.
But he was promoting the fight and also fighting in it.
Yeah. And, he fought the same guy like 3 times who you also fought. I got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I know he is.
And so I got there, showed up to fight, making $50, driving 3.5 hours, and he didn't show up. So I'm like, oh, dang it. So going back to the Josh Hartwell, there's a fight in Alexandria, which Josh Hartwell is the main event. And then Travis Fulton, I don't even know how he got a hold of me, but got a hold of me and is like, hey, do you want to fight Josh in his hometown? I'm like, sure. So, drove into Alexandria, climbed into a 3-rope cage, super loose, and showed up. And I was super nervous about the takedowns. We started fighting. I threw a jab. It landed. He fell down. I jumped on his back, hit him a crazy coconut a bunch of times. Fight was over. I'm like, this shit's easy. I was hooked and never looked back.
At one point in your career, like you really you fought a lot. So you're that Iowa Winter Wars, Luke Caudillo. Here, so check this out, Joey. That's his first fight. Josh Hartwell, obviously a very difficult opponent. His second fight, it's Luke Caudillo, who's a future UFC vet.
Yeah.
Really?
Yo, dude, it's littered. His pre-UFC record is pretty intense. That's more than normal. So Caudillo, who's from Nebraska, but doesn't he live in Texas now?
Now I think he was fighting in Colorado. When he was fighting, he was all over. He's the little Hulk. He was that strong little bugger. Yeah.
Fun to watch.
Yeah.
So how does that so you got 2 hard fights in a row. How does the second one come along?
Well, again, it was Tom Schmidt, who I trained with, was one of my coaches at the academy.
When Greg was sick, he took over the academy and helped him.
It was a lot. It was like
first time had cancer. Yeah.
There's a lot of guys kind of jumped in and kind of helped run the academy. So he's like, hey, I'm having fights. I don't know what the rule set's going to be. It might be pancreation rules. It might be MMA. It might be amateur. I don't know. I don't know until we get
Pot of luck with rules.
I'm like,
okay.
I don't even know what we're talking about here, but I'll fight. Yes. He's like, I got this guy that's super tough. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know. Can I beat him, Tom? He's like, yeah, you can beat him. I'm like, okay, let's go beat him. And there was 3 grappling matches. The best thing about that show, and I've never seen it since, and when I was promoting for a while, I wanted to bring it back. They had a halftime of arm wrestling. And it was the most awesomest thing ever. Everybody was getting drunk and getting angry. It was cool. But anyways, so then we're fighting, and it was a tough fight. shot a takedown on him when we went out of the ring, because the ring had 3 ropes and they were super loose. Like, it wasn't like a pride ring by any means, right? It was a sparring ring with 3 ropes. And I shot a takedown and we went through it. And ended up on the ground. And his fans were rabid. And they're like, oh, no, you did it. And they're like, we get back in the cage, or in the ring, sorry. And we're fighting again. And he hits me and I stumble backwards and he shoots in and takes me out of the ring. And then we're out of the ring. Then my crew is all angry and throwing beer cans, and it was chaotic, right? I mean, there's no
security. Yeah.
Right. There's nothing.
No.
And there's no commission. There's no law. Right. And then we get back in.
You know what the ruling factor is? Who sold more tickets? Any coin toss type decision. Who sold more tickets? Because we don't want those fans to be angry. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's where you're at.
And so I'm getting back in the cage, and Tom grabs me. He's like, stop effing around and take him down and submit him. I'm like, okay. Get back into the ring, and I shoot a double leg, put him in Americana, and win the fight. And my team goes crazy. His team goes crazy. And they're literally like in each other's face. It was awesome. And then the beer.
What they say about you is that you've got like unhuman strength for your size.
Yeah, I hear that.
I've heard that. I've heard that people say that about you. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Jacob Vulkman said once, he goes, everybody says Matt Hughes is strong. Matt Hughes isn't that strong. Brock, you're way stronger. I'm like, I don't know about that. And my really quick strong story. I was training with Brock Lesnar, and he was trying to Americana me, and he couldn't get it. And Greg's like, no, you got to do it like this. You got to do it like this. And Brock looks and says, yeah, but he's really strong. I look up at him.
Oh, fuck, like,
dude. You can't say that.
Hit the record button. Hit that record button. We're going to do that one more time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Come on, Brock, say it one more time. Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that, like, behind your back. People are like, yeah, it's more like going up against a heavyweight with strength in terms of, like.
Yeah. And I always say it's really weird how, like, I've trained with, like, some of the best heavyweights in the world. I trained with Brock Lesnar. I trained with Nogueira. I trained with Cain Velasquez. I trained with Junior Dos Santos. And
Jesus,
I'm like, I don't know why I end up training, and I end up in the heavyweight corner. It's like, hey, Brock, you go hang out with these guys. I'm like, why? I'm a fucking welterweight. Like, yeah, but you go with them guys. All right, here we go. Let's play.
Your career started at 185.
Yes. Yep.
Were you not cutting weight because you're not like a real big guy? Like,
no, I didn't.
I mean, I walked
around at 190.
Yeah, you didn't cut. Were you sick of cutting from wrestling?
Well, I just didn't think you were supposed to. I mean, Sherk wrestled at 85 for a lot of his. He didn't go to 55 until after Hughes.
Yeah,
and you know. So I didn't. He was my only, like, honestly, like, he was my role model. He was my guy. So he's like, no, you don't need to cut weight. So I wasn't cutting weight. And then once I got to UFC, Monty Cox, my manager, brings Rich Franklin in to my room. He's like, okay, just so you know, Brock, this is an 85 pounder. I'm like, okay, duly noted. All right. And so that's when I decided, okay, I should probably go down to welterweight.
Yeah. So Joey, his third fight is a future 50 Fight Club member who's super tough, Kyle Olsen, who is 4-4 at the time. Kyle Olsen is one of those unsung heroes of the Midwest.
Kyle, he fought everybody and anybody.
Yeah, hey, look at his record; it's legit.
And he was big and strong.
He's coming off a win against Ron Faircloth too. You know, another future UFC vet. So Olsen is got some tools.
Yeah. He was scary.
He fought most of his career as a light heavyweight, it shows.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we weighed it. I don't think we weighed in for that fight, to be honest with you.
So it was Saban Showdown. So I've got like a lot of contacts in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And like in Wisconsin. I threw this name at him and everybody's like clueless.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the show?
Saban. Well, it was Bruce Nelson.
Okay.
Bruce Nelson had, and it's this little community center in Sabin, Minnesota, which the population of Sabin is like 200 people.
That's why no one's ever heard of it.
It's just this
Okay.
little tiny. It's got a bar. The Crow Bar is across the street from the community center.
Okay.
And when I went there, I brought 2 buses, and only one bus they let in. They think we don't have enough room, so all the girls went to the Crow Bar and drank, and all the guys came into the fights. And that's how they divided that, because there's only held like 200 people or something like that. Because back then, you never knew what you're going to get for a crowd, right?
So Bruce Nelson was the promoter, but he also fought Travis Fulton in the main event.
Correct.
Yeah. If you look at Bruce's record, I think he's got. I'll get to it. I know the guy's name. I got it written down. I think he fought one guy like 3 times.
Well, I fought Travis Fulton, I think, 3-4 times.
Yeah.
And then he also fought. Bruce and I are still pretty good friends. We chat every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He's got to make a little bit of money, a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's one thing, like you were real serious. Your goal was to get to the UFC. His goal was to make money.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean? So I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a traveling circus. It was like,
ooh, that's exactly what it is.
This is what we're doing. I mean, Travis Fulton, I remember I had him fight for me once, and he's literally like, hey, give me $200 and I'll bring my own opponent.
That's
$200
like
and you bring your own opponent. I'm like, sold. All right.
One spot filled.
Yeah. That's why Travis had such
just
a
let me know
record.
who it is. Yeah, let me know who it is when you get here.
Once Travis got like 250 fights.
Like 400 something. It was like 3 something.
Yeah, he fought every weekend. And he brought his own. I mean, he fought the same. I mean, you look at his record, he fought the same guys.
Yeah, he even changed their names. Like there's guys with like 10, 12 fights. That's not their name. And all of like those fights are under that fake name. Yeah. Did you have a good relationship with Travis?
I mean, nothing bad. Like he always paid me what he said, $50, and I always showed up and fought. We were. I mean, we weren't. I wouldn't say not. We weren't friends by any means, but we've always. Whenever I seen him, I chat with him, and he fought.
Me too. Me too.
A couple times.
Yeah. So, and were you surprised at the charges?
No.
Really?
I mean, nothing surprises me with some guy who's got 300 fights, right?
Yeah.
It's just I didn't enjoy hearing it.
No.
Because he's kind of a legend, so to speak.
For sure.
And you just don't like to hear kind of anything like that happen. But
I was pretty shocked.
Surprised? No, but it was like, did I feel sorry for him? Yes. I don't know if I felt sorry for him. That's probably not the right word.
I felt bad for him. It's incredibly humiliating, and everybody knew who he was. Like everybody know who he was internationally. Like if you know MMA, that's that one footnote that you know.
Right.
And what I try to explain to people is, I had no issues with him. I when I saw him, I enjoyed talking with him. He had kind of a funky business deal or two with him at one point where I know I fell on the short end of it. But at the end of the day, I think the very last thing he did the right thing.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right. So, you know what I mean? Like saved everybody a lot of money, time, pain. And I feel bad for his family. I've met his family a couple of times. I thought they were all, they're all decent human beings, just hardworking people.
Right. Yeah.
So,
no.
Yeah. So Kyle Olsen, like I said, future 50 Fight Club member. You win by KO. So if you look at your record up until this time, you've got 3 really hard fights with 3 finishes.
Yes.
You became kind of like a hot commodity on the Midwest circuit in terms of your name value.
Yeah. And I don't really know what, but when I would start fighting, I turned into like I don't even know how the hell I did half the things. Kyle Olsen was this giant human, and I just would just stay on people, and then I just break them, And it was just kind of a weird. I think a lot of it was the training. I was training at a high level before I was fighting at a high level. You know what I mean? I was training with Sean. Sean was one of the best in the world for a long, long time. And
Even
that's
before he got to the UFC. Yeah, before he got to the UFC, he
those
was one
guys
of the
were
best in the
hitting
world. Yeah.
feed bags in their gym and wrestling with their buddies. And Sherk and I are doing cable shots and freaking medicine ball workouts and drilling takedowns after takedowns and trying to kill each other. And I think most people didn't know how to train. So I was kind of lucky where I let him kind of take the reins and I just followed his coattails and this is what Sean's doing. This is what I'm going to do. So I got lucky in that aspect.
So because of your relationship with Sean at that point, do you think maybe that prevented you from cutting weight to 170 because that's what the weight class he was at?
I don't know if that prevented me necessarily from doing it. No, I think just I didn't have to. I didn't. I won all my fights at 85, and I fought legit guys. And not until you get to the UFC do you realize, holy crap, maybe
Yeah.
because I could. It wasn't an easy cut by any means getting to 70, but being at 85 was not hard.
Yeah, you just miss a day of
A
meals.
meal and I'm there. I was always pretty lean because I worked out a lot and I trained hard and I did all the other things that you're supposed to do. And I ate right. I mean, again, I had Sherk to kind of guide me on nutrition and stuff because I really didn't have a clue on.
He really was a complete package back in the day. And like whether it's training, nutrition, cardio, like that guy, he's just an absolute specimen.
Ahead of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. So Joey.
Yes, sir.
Got a tournament coming up.
That's right.
That's another box. Dude.
The new guys coming up will never have that box to check.
Nope. In fact, like a little side note, we're not going to get to it. I believe, and I haven't done enough research on this, but I feel comfortable saying it. The 8-man tournament that you fought in Oklahoma, that Rich Chow seeded, he match made. I think I'm not 100% sure on this. That might be the last 8-man tournament same day in the entire United States.
I think you're correct.
Dude, look at that motherfucker. Dude, dude, think about that. Like the state of Oklahoma approved 45 total minutes of fighting in one night. So it was just all 3-round fights. Right. If it's a draw, it's a draw. But it's 3 rounds. I think that's the last one on our soil in one day.
So it was after Yama pit fighting.
Yes. Yeah. And Yama only allowed 1 round. That's true. 2. I think 2 rounds actually. That's where I eliminated it. That's why I subtracted it. Yeah. Dude, that's
I fought in multiple tournaments. Like
big time. So in ICC trials, is that a Bruce Nelson event as well?
That was not. That was who was that? It was he was one of the guys from the original UFC. He wasn't an owner or anything, but he was like
Buddy Albin.
Oh man. Can't remember.
Was it John Peretti? Was it John Peretti?
I might be ICC.
No.
Or am I thinking IFC?
You're thinking of the IFC.
ICC, no. Okay, ICC, no, that's different. Okay. Sorry, I'm going back to my brains.
Yeah.
I was thinking the IFC. But no, ICC was the front man was Mike Riley.
That was a Team Bison. Okay.
Yeah, but he wasn't the money guy, but he was the kind of the front guy.
All right.
You know who actually was who it was actually.
Joey. Mike Riley.
Yeah.
Is one MMA match. Boston Crab.
No shit.
Yeah, it's just finished, dude. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was a little hard to watch. I was there live for it. I was just like, no, Mike, it looked believable.
Oh my God. Right. I got to see that tape.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. All right. So you got Brian Masachurn. You win by armbar. Here's the surprising thing about your second fight, Alex Gasson. He used to go by the nickname Pecker, I believe. I never forgot that. I saw him fight like in Crystal Lake, Illinois. I'm like, I can't forget that nickname.
Yeah, they were from Canada.
Yeah, Sean, dude, he's one of Sean Tompkins' students.
Yep.
You look at his record and it's 3-5. You're like, it's not impressive. But then when you look at the body of the people he lost to, 100% of his opponents went to go fight in the UFC.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is
crazy.
Yeah, he lost to 5 UFC vets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he went 3-fight win streak. And then he fought. No, I think you may have been at the end of that 5 fights. Yeah.
I hope he fired his manager.
And dude, it was Sean Tompkins.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was Sean.
Yeah. Tough team though.
rough.
Like Sam Stout, Mark Homnick, like you legit Chris Hordecki. Tough team. Tough team.
That fight was interesting because I had shot in, I had taken him down, and he had kind of turtled, and I got him in a front headlock, and I'm kneeing him in the head. And the ref stops the fight. And he's like, "Oh, knee to the head, knee to the head." And I'm like, "No, it's pride rules." Because back then, the promoter made up the rules, right? There's no commission. And he's like, wait. And he went over and I remember
don't move.
Greg Nelson's just like, "It's pride rules. It's pride rules." And they're like, "Oh, my bad. Both back up." And Greg's like, "No, put them back down." He's like, "No, both back up." And so we started on our feet again, and he came across the cage and threw a flying knee. And for some reason, my instincts were to shoot, and I shot low, and he went over the top of my head, and I caught his foot, and he fell on his face. And then I ended up, beating him down and stuff. But it was crazy. I wish I still had that fight.
Yeah, inch higher, you were toast.
Yeah,
on that shot.
yeah, I'd have been dead. Yeah.
Oh wow. And then you meet Nick Gamps for the first time. He and Gavin Riddell have they have a promotion called Cage Fighting Extreme. April 3rd, 2004. James Fuller. You win by armbar.
Cage Fighting Extreme is my promotion.
Is it yours? I thought it was Gampston and Gavin Fuller. No?
No. Gavin left Nick after like 5 years of working with Nick, and then he became my matchmaker. But not at this time. This is just me.
Okay, so he didn't matchmake at this point. Okay.
TFX was just my promotion because no one would come to Brainerd. I actually tried getting Nick and Gavin and all those guys to come to Brainerd and do a show. I'm like, "We'll sell a bunch of tickets." They're like, no, we're staying down here.
Too far. Yeah.
So then I just made up my own promotion and started doing my own thing.
Good.
Was this only a 3-fight card, or did you have some amateur bouts on it or something?
Oh, it was a loaded card. We had like 10 fights, but there was only 3 fights that got registered.
Mm-hmm.
On Shoe Dog.
It's kind of standard back then. There's a lot of lost fights.
I didn't know what I was doing. Honestly, I'm almost positive I sent my results to Bruce Nelson, and I think he filed them because I didn't know how to do it. I think that's how it went down. So I think he just put the ones in that were important, that he cared about, and it's like, okay, we'll just put these in there and we'll call it good.
Yeah. It's James Fuller armbar. You go out to Dakota Fighting Championships. I think that's Tyler Larson.
No, that's Bruce Nelson. Now that's Bruce Nelson.
That's Bruce Nelson. I got the right last name.
Bruce Nelson and Chris Nelson.
Okay.
Chris Nelson was then the matchmaker. Bruce was the promoter.
Okay. Nick Beasley. And dude, you've got 100% finish rate up until this point. Like people are talking about you. Like I'm in Chicago, and I remember Brock Larson. My question is, he's a real good wrestler. Where did he wrestle at in college? He didn't. So it was just kind of like, okay, cool. Okay. Cool. So at this time, I was like addicted to regional MMA. Like I was probably doing like 30 shows a year. I had a clothing line called Cutthroat MMA. Okay. And I'd be at all the shows, giving t-shirts away. And it was just more of like an excuse for, I can tell my wife, no, dude, we got to promote the business. Outright lie. Yeah. So you get Nick Beasley, you finish him.
Yep.
And then you go back to the ICC trials. Your original opponent's Jeff Doyle, and you end up fighting Miguel Cooley, who's 2-0-1. Finish him.
Yep.
Like you're wrecking people, dude. Mark Smolinski, you finish him.
Yep.
Is there any manager at this
point? No.
I didn't think so.
No, I'm just fishing for fights, and looking to see who I can fight and when I can fight. So
what's the process? Just picking up the phone?
Yeah, no, I don't know how to do it. I just literally was like trying to I'd go to fights and ask if they had anybody for me to fight. or, hey, can I fight next week? I'll fight next month. I'll fight whenever I can fight. So I was asking Riley, I was asking Gamps, I was asking anybody.
Mike Camp.
Yeah. I mean, Bruce Nelson. It didn't matter. So I was just trying to find fights the only way I knew how. I mean, it was hard because didn't have like the ability to email anybody. You couldn't just go on the computer and be like, hey, I want to fight. So I was really just going to fights and picking fights basically. And that's kind of another reason why I started promoting myself, is because then I would just call gyms. I mean, I had like Joe Dirksen. I seen you guys had him on. Joe Dirksen, long
legend
of mine, right? And I call his gym and see if they had anybody, and they'd send some guys down. I'd get guys from the academy to fight. I'd get guys from Bison. I'd get guys from wherever the heck I could find. Anywhere, the streets, it didn't matter. I was just trying to find bodies, right?
Yeah.
And like James Fuller was from up north, up by Canada. And so you just tried to find guys, and I'd ask other promoters, like, do you have any numbers of any guys that I could fight? Like Stephan was a huge help to me.
It's like a scavenger hunt. Yeah.
Yeah. And back then it was a little bit different because I couldn't look up this guy, what guy, I mean, dial up would take you 7 hours to try to download anything. So you kind of like, if he was from Iowa, oh, he's probably a wrestler. If he's from the East Coast, oh, I bet he's a boxer, and it's like you kind of game plan to where he was from, and
it's
not
true.
all what you should have done. But
it's true.
Yeah. So it just how it went out.
So on February 5th, 2005, he fight for Extreme Cage Combat. That's Jeff Paul and Nick Gamst.
Yep.
Two staples of the foundational building of the Minnesota mixed martial arts scene. And they bring in over Victory FC, that's Victory J's promotion. They bring over their champion, Darren Burdigan. Burdigan?
Burdigan.
So, Joey, just so you know, if you look at the Victory FC, Victor Moreno, there's like a ton of high-end guys that got their start with Victory J. He sat in on a few of these with us. Oh, like yeah. he and Big Papa Schnocky were like best friends. And
Jay was quite the guy.
Phenomenal. Yeah. One of my favorites. Yeah. So Nick Gamps, Jeff Paul, let's start with the promoters. What was your experience with them?
Dirty, right? I mean, but I knew that. I knew what I was dealing with, and I didn't care. Like, it didn't matter because whoever they put me against, I was going to beat them up, right? And I wasn't going to worry about the judges. I was just going to beat everybody up was my mentality, right? And so I knew that there was a lot of that. Everyone said, hey, just be careful, but they weren't paying me much, and I didn't ask for much. I mean, I didn't make more than $50 until I think, honestly, the first tournament I fought in was the first time I made more than $50.
Yeah. Wait. You know what, dude? We should ask that. You had Alex Gasson in the finals. What did that pay for the ICC?
Oh, I think I made $150 that night. $50 for the first fight, $100 for the second fight.
No hotel.
No hotel. We had a bus from Brainerd that brought us there and back.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's so good, dude. That's so good. Joey, that's another box. That's another box. All right, so with Nick Gamps, I mean, just so I can kind of describe him, I would say his teeth were rotting, but you couldn't smell them because of the nicotine that was coming off of him. So he just really smelled like, and he was a really nice guy. He meant well. It was just like he was scattered. He was probably high on energy drinks, high on nicotine, and in between nicotines and cigarettes, he's drinking coffee. So, and Nick Gamst, he would have like one of those like froggy, like a Pat O'Malley, like one of those throaty voices from also probably smoking shitloads of weed, like more weed than he's supposed to. So you had two guys in charge that like their impulse control really wasn't in order. Can we agree? Am I off on that?
No, I mean, no.
They're both passed. They both passed from pills and stuff like that. But dude, I liked those guys, but they were
Well, I
like
partnered
what you
up with
said.
Nick a couple times just because. But yeah, and yeah, those two were quite the couple. Wow. Yep.
Yeah. Interesting guys.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, they meant well. I mean,
Right.
sometimes they fell short, but like their intentions were good.
Yeah, I think when everything was good, like when they were talking about and they were planning things out, it was great. But then when it came down to at the end of the night and the money, that's when things got ugly.
Yeah,
Like,
the conversation shifted. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We said what?
Yeah, right.
Is that on paper? Like, no. You didn't write it down.
Right. Yes.
So but I'll tell you what, we got Josh Neer. We're recording with him on Monday. They built Josh Neer. They did really well with Josh Neer and Jeremy Stevens a little bit, but more Josh Neer.
Yeah.
How did you and Josh never end up fighting?
I don't know. I do remember one time they asked me to fight him, and I said yes. And I don't remember why we didn't fight. All I know is we didn't fight, but I remember he was kind of parallel with me at that time. We were both kind of on the rise.
Yeah.
And someone had asked us to fight, and I said, yeah. And
was it Gamston Jeff Paul?
If I had to guess, if I had to remember, I would say yes.
Okay, so then I can tell you exactly what it was. It was the money that you guys were both should have been paid. And you're a real nice guy. Behind your back, people always talk about what a good dude you are. Like, oh, real easy, cool, not a hard ass, just real easy to deal with. Josh Neer has the opposite reputation.
Okay.
Like if I'm going to owe somebody money and I had to pick between the two of you, I'm going you all day. You and I will work out a payment plan.
Yeah.
Josh Neer is going to take some teeth, with the money. If I had to guess, I would say it would be that.
Yeah. But I think, did Josh Neer and Nick Thompson, did they fight?
They did.
Okay. That might have been what happened. I might have been having to go back to work or something like that. And for some reason, that sticks in my head, but it could have been that they just fought at a different time.
You know what? Going back in my memory, I think Nick Thompson took that fight last minute.
Yeah. So
it was also an Extreme Challenge. Matt Hughes was the referee, so it wouldn't have been Jeff Paul and Nick Gamps. It would have been Monty Cox.
Okay, so that wouldn't have been because I was managed by Monty.
Not at that time.
No, not at that time. No, but I don't think it was Monty because my first. It might have been. It could have been. I'm not going to say.
There's your three. You got Jeff Paul, Nick Gamps, or Monty Cox. It's one of those two. I mean, Madtown Throwdown's not going to touch
whatever
it.
It was. I couldn't fight him, and I wouldn't have accepted the fight and then backed out. I never backed out in a fight. So either I knew I had to go back to work, or not. So it might have been that they wanted to do it, and maybe he got hurt. Maybe I never been injured. So either he pulled out or I didn't accept it because I had to go to work.
Yeah.
Maybe Nick fought him then. I just remember them fighting, and I remember being interested because I was supposed to fight him.
And you know what? At that point, I think that Josh Neer got beat up that night, and it shocked everybody. So Joey, like this Midwest circuit, like we threw Travis Fulton's name around. There's Brian Robinson, who I also respect, but there's a lot. Kyle Olsen. There's a lot of 50 Fight Club members, which you don't really
Kyle
get.
Jensen. Yeah.
Kyle Jensen, like you don't get a lot of 50 Fight Club members like on the East or West Coast.
No.
And Josh Neer got beat up that night by Nick Thompson, like bad. And I believe that's when Josh Neer levels up. Like he works on his wrestling, works on his takedown defense. And Josh Neer was a good high school wrestler, but there was levels that night.
Yeah, I remember because I used to kind of get the better of Thompson. Not talking gym talk, but we were always competitive. But I was thinking, I could have done that fight easy, whatever.
I think so. At that point, I think so too. At that point, I think so too. But do you remember? And I gotta shut the fuck up, and I got to let you talk more. So I apologize, Brock. But
No, you're good.
do you remember, like, people would always talk about Neer, and they would be like, no, 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 no. He's got 90 amateur fights. And like at that time, people would always, well, I got 90 amateur fights. But with Neer, it was different. Other people would tell you and vouch for it. Like it was different.
Yeah.
And then he got out of there. And I think Nick Thompson was kind of like his truth moment.
Yeah. And Nick was tough. He had like a
Yeah.
ridiculously good jab. And like, I mean, he's the first one to beat Eddie Alvarez. I
Yeah.
mean, Nick is kind of an underrated guy. It just, if he got matched incorrectly, it just didn't work out well for him.
Yeah. So what he said about you in our interview with Nick, when we interviewed Nick Thompson, he said, Dave Strasser taught me to be tough, but when I worked out at the academy, they taught me skill. He's like, and like some of the very basic things that I could get away with from being tough, I couldn't get away with once I went to the academy. He fully credits you guys for leveling his game up.
Yeah, when Nick came in, he was very raw, but he got good in a hurry, and he still is. Like he's in better shape now than he was when he fought. I mean, he's amazing on the mats, and he's like, it's crazy. It's crazy how like tough he is. And everybody's like, Nick Thompson is fucking. My guys will come back from doing an open mat and they're like, oh, your boy Nick Thompson submitted me 5 times. I'm like, one of my black belts. Why you letting Nick do that to you? You know? And so yeah, he's smart. Obviously, he's smart. So he figures things out.
So Joey, at this year, and I'm going from memory, it's either this year or the year after. Nick Thompson actually fought more times than Travis Fulton did.
Jesus Christ.
While in school studying law. When he fought Jake Shields, he was in law school. He was taking the bar the next week. He had like 15 fights in 1 year while also studying for the bar.
Jesus Christ.
That fight was crazy because I had been out there training at AKA with Shields and all those guys out at AKA. And I went back and I said, dude, you gotta stay on your feet with him. Shields ground game is good. He's like, he ain't gonna do any of that. He ain't gonna do any of that to me. I'm like, no, dude, I'm serious. Like, you gotta stay on your feet. You gotta work your ass off. Don't not let him do it, you know? And then sure enough, he got taken down in one hand guillotine. And I text him. All I text him was shit. And he texted me back, I love you, Brock. That's the best response I've gotten this entire. Everybody else is like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you did good. He's like, yours was perfect. It was shit. So
he's an interesting guy, man. Interesting guy. Like you'd never give you 50 choices of what Nick did before law school. Being in the UFC wouldn't be one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like a funny guy. He's like a good guy.
Yeah. Like a world-class smartass with actual intelligence.
He'd be hitting the bag in a jockstrap and jockstrap only. Sitting there hitting the bag. Just like, what are you doing? He's like, just warming up. Like, okay, good. I'm not gonna touch that bag.
Little side note on Nick, when he beat Eddie Alvarez in Russia, I was not there, although I did work for Bodog at that time. He was invited to go to dinner with Putin, and he no-showed so he can go party with his buddies.
Jesus.
like Putin sent his people to invite him so he could meet Nick. And Nick was just like, he goes to the after party. And they're like, you didn't go with Putin? He's like, no, I want to hang out with my friends. I'm in Russia. Yeah, that's Nick.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah. You finish Darren, who is got a big upside. You choke him out. And then you go the IFC. Is it Chad Curley?
Ooh.
The IFC?
No, it wasn't Chad Curley. Charlie was over in North Dakota doing boxing stuff at that time.
Okay.
I'm sure he wasn't doing MMA yet.
Stephan Potvin, he's 7-6 with wins over Joe Dorkson, Ronald Jones, Tyrone Roberts, and a split decision loss with Kyle Sanford. Dude is legit.
Yeah, he was tough. He was a tough fight. And I remember going into that fight. assuming I was going to finish him right away. And I remember going after the second round thinking, okay, I've got a third round, I've got a fourth round, and I got a fifth round up, and I'm fucking tired. And I've never went past the first round up to this point. So I remember after the second round, I'd won those 2 rounds, and then I'm like, okay, I got to pace myself. And I did not know how to pace myself. I had never won out of the first round. And so I think by pacing myself, I just stopped doing things. Oh my God, he started whooping my ass. He started kicking me in the head. I mean, he was bringing everything. I'm like, then I couldn't get going again because I was dragging my ass. And that round got over. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, all right, no more pacing yourself. And then I went out there and just went after it and then won the next 2 rounds and went to a decision. But I had him. Oh, I had him close to finishing. I had him in a head and arm choke as time run out. But yeah, I remember that fight like yesterday because it's the first time I ever went the distance. And the first time I go the distance is 25 freaking minutes. So
That's not good. Yeah, that ain't good.
Good thing I trained hard, but I did not know how to pace myself for a title fight.
Yeah, durable guy. Potvin was a durable guy. Yeah.
Crazy Canadians.
The Canadians always came in shape and they were always like overly polite.
Yeah. 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 Well, you've met Joe. Dirks is like the sweetest guy ever.
So there's only 350 Fight Club members from Canada. It's Dennis King, Dorkson, and John Alessio. That's it. No one else in the entire country ever hit 50 fights in MMA.
John Alessio's a turd.
Opera in Las Vegas now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
There's I've heard some things. I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah,
Miguel Cooley in your own. I mean, you're rattling them off. Yeah. So that was March.
The story about Miguel Cooley the second time, he was talking smack through friends that IFC wanted me to be their champion, and that's why they stopped the fight, was because they wanted me to be the champion. So I invited him back to do it again, and this time Dave Menne was the referee, and so we fought. And then I told Dave, I said, Dave, don't stop the fight. If I'm going in upon him, he's got to tap. And I got on his back and I beat the dog snot out of poor Miguel. And I kept hitting him, and Dave's standing over there and like, are you gonna tap? You better tap. And then he ended up tapping out, and then the fight was over. So that's a little backstory on that one.
Yeah, that's a regional little grudge match. That's cool. You mentioned Dave Menne. In terms of Minnesota mixed martial arts, like that guy is number one on the list. What was it like? Did you work out with him at all?
I did train with Dave a lot, actually. I would go. So once I quit my job and started fighting full time, I would go to the academy. I'd drive down to the academy, get there at 10 o'clock, do their jiu-jitsu class, and then do the MMA practice with Sean and the guys. Get done with there, and I'd run to Menne's about 1 o'clock, and he'd be training there. And a lot of his stuff with me was kind of one-on-one. Sometimes there's another guy until later on. Then you got the Lynch brothers, and it got
Daryl Guthmiller,
and some of those guys. So I'd stop there and I'd spar, because those guys would spar super hard. And I like that shit. So we'd go there, I'd get done training with the academy, then I'd go spar with those guys with takedowns and all that. Sometimes we have big gloves on, sometimes we have little gloves on, sometimes shin pads, sometimes no shin pads. Depends on what Dave was feeling that day. And then I get done with there, then I head back to Brainerd, and I would teach a class or take a class, and then I do my cardio. I had Luke Popham there, who ran my nutrition and kind of ran my cardio stuff. So that's kind of how my day went. So yeah, I spent a lot of time with Dave. Actually, when we fought in Fight Night 2, when we fought in Miramar, in the UFC, it was Dave's last fight in the UFC. It was my second fight in the UFC. We both fought on the same card, and I kind of again was on his coattails and just kind of let him kind of lead the way and did a lot of stuff with him going up to the fight.
He was so mellow personality wise, but if you look at his body of work, he's got a Hall of Fame like background. If you just
Like
look at the guys who
pre-UFC,
fought,
he
oh
was
my
the guy.
God.
Yeah.
Like, and then UFC, first UFC champ. And then, I mean, things went downhill for him, but he was tough in the gym. Like he kicked you so hard you didn't know what you were doing. And he was good. He was good. And good wrestler, good grappler.
International experience. Like he was doing it before anybody.
Yeah, his stories of going to Abu Dhabi, or not Abu Dhabi, Iraq, and
Was
fighting
it
over there.
was it Dubai? No, was it Qatar where they gave him a fake gold belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got Dave. Yeah, and Daryl Gunther, another real tough guy, another standout guy from the early Minnesota scene. Joey Clark, Kyle Jensen. Did you work out with Kyle?
Kyle and I were teammates for quite a while.
Okay.
He actually moved to Brainerd.
I got a lot of respect for him. Yeah.
And he did some good things. And then he had to move back to Thief River Falls, and then that was pretty much the end of his career when he stopped training with us and moved back to Thief River. And then he didn't really have a gym. He had his own guys, but it's not the same,
Yeah, him and Wisniewski, when they fought, that was a huge fight. I think I was in like Northwest Indiana at a live fight, but I remember getting like updates on that. Yeah. Joey Clark, another standout guy. The dream, Joey Clark.
Yeah. I never trained with him, but he was around. Yep. He was around quite a bit.
What about Brandon Jenkins?
Never trained with Brandon either.
Okay.
He was more at the Minnesota ATT and never really crossed paths with him either.
You were training partners with Jacob Vulkman when he got visited by Secret Service.
Yes.
Yeah. When he called out Barack Obama in his post-fight speech, it kind of went viral. Yeah.
Yep. I remember asking him about that. He's like, "Well, yeah, I mean, didn't think they were going to take it that serious." Yeah, I don't think he threatened the president,
Good move.
They take that shit serious.
How was he as a training partner?
Vulkman, loved him to death. He was intense, but some days I wanted to kill him. He's the guy. So this is Jacob Vulkman in a nutshell. This is one story. I have a few, but this is probably the one that sums him up the best. We're training, and I had him in a Kimura, and I finished him once in a Kimura. Like, he gets mad. It goes harder. I get him in another Kimura. He grabs my thumb and tries breaking it, and I let go, and I'm like, Jacob, you can't grab my thumb. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you can't bend my thumb backwards. Or no, it's actually my finger. It's my finger. Like, you can't bend my finger backwards. He goes, dude, take a point. It's better than losing. Just take a point. I don't care. I'm like, what? I'm like, we're teammates. He's like, well, I don't care. I'm trying to win. Like, that was his goal, was to win every training session, every situation. He never wanted to lose a scramble. He never wanted to lose anything.
Wow. Yeah, chiropractor. Yeah, Joey, after his Obama comments, like it was.
Really? He's on the watch list?
Oh, dude. Like everybody was like, wait, what?
Now he's a tree cutter.
Did he threaten Obama, or did he just say, for my next fight, I think
he was going to beat him like pretty bad.
Yeah, so like Obama, you're next, or something like that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Exactly. Said, but yeah,
I'd recommend against that.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
So at this point in your career, this is me making assumptions. Joey, this next tournament, he's in an 8-man tournament. He's fighting at July 23rd, 2005, Extreme Challenge 63. He's got a bunch of fights in 2005. And if you look at the tournament, he's got Damarques Johnson in his first draw. Is there anything that stands out about Damarques' career to you, Brock?
Well, I mean, obviously, he's Ultimate Fighter finalist.
Okay.
And
that's one.
And I mean,
future UFC vet.
Yeah, he was a stud. I mean, him and I later on went on tap out tours together on the bus with the boys, and yeah, he was one of the good ones,
Yeah. So Damarques Johnson, UFC vet finals and tough 8. His loss, he was he lost to Picnic Paul Purcell, who was 8-5-2. But like, if you look at Purcell's record, I was at the event where he knocked out Nick Thompson. I was not at this fight, but you were his next fight, like in yeah. Tough dude, man. I think he lost to no, he beat Damarques. I apologize. He knocks out Nick Thompson and stops Damarques Marquez. And those are two huge wins in a row, but it was like before anybody really knew who they were. And so you got an 0-1 Damarques who's tough as shit. And Ryan Jensen is your second opponent.
Incredible resume.
5-0 at the time. Wins over Travis Fulton. That was his first fight. Travis trying to cherry pick. Right. Tyrone Roberts, another UFC vet. Neil Rowe, Rich Franklin's stand-up coach. Gurgel's coach and Matt Brown's instructor.
Right.
So that's your second fight in the tournament. Take us through those first two fights.
Well, the first fight with Damarques, it was very like just forward. And I believe I finished him in a Kimura.
Yeah.
He was very he was kind of submissive to the grappling. Like he was willing to be in guard. He was willing to be there. And that was great. I loved it. And so then it was just a lot of hitting and a lot of passing. And then I'm pretty positive that one was a Kimura that I finished him in the first round. Yeah. I remember thinking, holy shit, he was big. Like that was maybe my first time I thought, wow, 85. These guys are a little bigger than me, And then obviously Ryan Jensen was big son of a bugger too. And
another future UFC vet.
Right. And
so now you got two UFC vets there.
Correct. And with Ryan, I still to this day might think that fight I got a little bit lucky. Not that I went to beat him, but the way I beat him, I do think was a little bit lucky. He put me in like an anaconda, and I didn't know what one was a week before that. And Tom Schmidt showed me what an anaconda was the week before. No reason. Wasn't like, oh, you're fighting this guy, he's got a good anaconda. No, he's like, hey, check out this submission. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you get out of that? And he's like, oh, you do this, you peel the hands back, you push her up, and you do that. I'm like, okay. And he put me in a standing anaconda. And when I shot in and he got me an anaconda, and I was like, well, don't even know what to, but I lifted him up and then slammed him. And then the punch that you never land, where you posture up and you throw that big, huge haymaker, and it usually always hits the mat. It landed clean, and Ryan just I seen his head just kind of go, and then he rolled to his belly, and then I hit him a couple more times, and then the ref stopped it. So two things I got lucky there. One, I recognized what an anaconda was to know that I was in a submission. Otherwise, a week ago, like Tom submitted me with it, I had no idea what it even was. And two, I landed that punch that you never land, and it landed. So those two things, and Ryan and I still, when we see each other, we still bullshit. We're like, we're good. And so I think I got a little bit lucky. I still would have beat him, but I feel like I still, to this day, got two lucky draws on that fight.
That's good. That's fair. So the finals is Ryan McGivern. Joey, are you looking at this tournament?
I am.
Why don't you let everybody know who Ryan fought on his side of the bracket?
Legit.
Going down. Okay, he fought Joey Gergel and Tom Jones.
Joey Gould
and Tom Jones.
Yeah. Who are they?
Not two UFC vets?
No. But I'll tell you what, Monty managed him at the time. Ryan is a future IFL veteran on the Silverbacks, and then he was at Bellator. So essentially, you got a guy that Monty doesn't manage with all the UFC vets.
Yeah.
Let them wear each other down. You got his horse he's riding, and Ryan Jensen, Ryan McGivern, McGivern's, dude, he's a great guy. Like I think he's
McGivern was the favorite. McGivern was the favorite.
With the best draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at Jensen's record, and every loss is a name that even a casual fan would know.
Yeah.
Like that guy had a hell of a resume. So
You
yeah,
mean
you're fighting
McGivern?
killers.
You mean talking about McGivern?
No. Jensen, the guy he fought second
Yeah.
round. If you
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at
Yeah. Brian
Jensen's
Johnson.
record,
Oh,
he
yeah.
only lost
Yeah.
to names that you would know.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Jensen's like a real nice guy, too. We were supposed to have him on. Something took place. I'm going to contact Victor J to grab him. But like McGivern was managed by Monty. You win by key lock. My tinfoil hat says you leave there with a contract with Monty.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. And that fight, okay, so this isn't known about that, but I submitted McGivern twice that night.
Who was the referee? Was it Rich Franklin?
Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes.
His teammate.
Not a real good unbiased
Nothing
ref.
weird there.
Now, to Matt's defense, he didn't stop it, but I Kimura'd McGivern and he tapped and I let go and Matt goes, keep going. What are you stopping for? And I then Kimura'd him a second time and I made him itch the back of his head the second time.
Oh, no.
And then Matt stepped in and he looks at Matt, goes, and this is the first time I ever met Matt Hughes, right? I'm still kind of starstruck, like, oh gosh. And he's like, never stop until the ref stops you.
Oh, yeah.
And
covering for himself. Covering for himself. That's what he's doing.
And,
just that he's not real wrong, even though he is. Okay. Yeah.
And I think McGivern took me down in about 15 seconds. It didn't take him too long. I think I came out and threw a right hand or left hand, and he shot in. And on the way down, I locked up a Kimura, and I just
good move.
And then I swept him with it. And then I got on top and finished it once. And then I let go. And Matt said, keep going. And I rehooked it up. And I was still on top. And McGivern was kind of like underhook and coming up. And I hit it again. And that time it was over.
So Hughes really, I liked him. But as a referee, he shouldn't be doing any of the MFS fights ever.
He was paid by the LCO casino to ref because he had won that tournament, the LCO, prior to his UFC running. So they wanted him back. Is the story I got, right? And so that's kind of like, oh, the casino paid him. It wasn't money kind of a thing.
So if anybody's got UFC Fight Pass, look up Nick Thompson versus Josh Neer. Do you remember Brian Garrity?
Yeah.
Okay, so Brian Garrity, one of Dave Strasser's guys. Brian Garrity, when he was like in high school, he had to like spend his weekends in jail his senior year for a good portion of it because he was always in trouble. And this is him admitting this. And as a cornerman, it didn't matter who he was arguing with. He had your back no matter what. So it in multiple times during the Neer Nick Thompson fight, Nick Thompson has Neer mounted, raining blows. Hughes would jump in and call for a stand-up.
Oh, jeez.
And you can watch Garrity in between rounds. Like, no. What are you gonna do? Beat me up? What are you gonna do? Well, I don't care. I know who you are. So yeah, Matt didn't have a real good reputation as a referee.
Good for him. He has teammates back.
Yeah. Yeah. He was a good. Matt had his teammates back, and Garrity had his teammates back. Yes,
right.
That is true. So you leave there with a contract with Monty, and you get called to the UFC shortly afterward.
Because that was the word on the tournament. Like Monty said, if you win this tournament, you're going to the UFC.
Right? That's badass.
So that was the word, and I mean it held true.
And what did it pay?
The tournament?
Yeah.
Not much.
Dude.
I mean,
it's money.
I'm dying to lie when I said the most money I made in prior to that was like 150. Like I wasn't doing it to make money. That's why I had my own promotion on the side, because then I could make some money off that, because I wasn't making any money fighting. Who's gonna pay some knucklehead farm boy from Brainerd to come beat up all their guys?
That's an 8-man tournament right there, Joey.
Yep.
Another box.
Box checked.
You didn't fight with headbutts ever, did you?
No. No headbutts.
Yeah, that's a
Man,
different
Ben
era.
headbutted and
Yeah. So October 3rd, 2015. That's your path to the UFC, which is incredibly fascinating. You certainly weren't given much. Like other than your own fights that you booked on your own show, everywhere else you fought
I
real
fought
tough.
whoever nobody else wanted to fight.
Yeah.
Because that's the only
Yeah.
fight you get.
Yeah. And sometimes even as a B-side. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. When you get called to the UFC, John Fitch is your opponent. Both of you guys share a grappling coach, Dave Camarillo.
Right.
Do you think that was on accident or was it on purpose?
I think it was not on purpose. I think it was an accident. I think it just happened. He was coming up, I was coming up, boom. And I remember Dave saying, I'm not cornering either one of you two. And I remember him sitting in the stands and like, good luck to you both.
Did you do your camp with Camarillo?
No.
Okay, so you knew to stay away. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dave wasn't happy. Dave didn't want it. Dave did not want that fight. He's like, no, you guys got way too much talent for both you guys to be fighting each other, kind of a thing. Like,
Fitch also said that. And did you ever see Fitch fight on the independent grind?
No.
So the two times I saw him fight were Solomon Hutcherson and Wilson Govea. I only saw him, I think I saw him one other time. Both of those times he was stretchered from the ring.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, that's why when we took the fight, I was like, I think this is a fight I can win, Obviously, I didn't think I was going to lose. But then, man, that kid can grind,
He really upped his game. In fact, like at hook and shoot, after he got stretchered out, Solomon Hutcherson landed an illegal knee, and it was a scary knockout. But his thing was, behind his back, the hype behind Fitch was captain of the Purdue wrestling team as a walk-on. He went from walk-on to captain of the team, hardest worker in the gym. At that hook and shoot where he got a knee landed, I think Joe Silva was there. I used to see Joe Silva at the hook and shoots. Another person, Dan Lambert, the American Top Team owner, people were calling him, hey man, Fitch is just wasting his time. Like they would say that, like Twitch, John the Twitch Fitch. Yeah, that's what they'd say. And both American Govea got him, Hutcherson got him, and then he just goes on an incredible tear.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that.
Right. No, even after we fought, I'm like, gosh, I didn't feel like I really lost. I just feel like I didn't win. Because it was kind of a boring fight. And we just kind of like, both of our strengths were kind of similar. His was a little bit better than mine. And it was just kind of a stalemate, but he obviously won. So.
Yeah.
And we trained with John since. Like, John and I were pretty close for a little bit. So.
Yeah, was he stronger than you, in your opinion, or do you think he just out wrestled you?
No, he was really good at being tight. Like he could get tight and you just couldn't get him off. You just kind of like drag you to the ground and just kind of like you couldn't get him off. Yeah, he's sticky and just clingy. And yeah, it was kind of a weird thing. And after we started training together, we figured each other out a little bit more. And I always said it was the weirdest thing. Once I went back to AKA and I trained, it was a circle of John Fitch and I and Koscheck, Swick, and then
Jesus.
what we were just talking about that beat Thompson, brain farting.
They beat Thompson. Jake Shields.
Jake Shields. So it was us, and there's some pretty tough welterweights right there in that room.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't take down Fitch. Fitch couldn't take down Shields. I could take down Shields, and Shields could take down Fitch. It was the weirdest circle. You know what I mean? It was like because Fitch was a double guy, and Shields couldn't defend a double as well. I was a single guy, so I could take down. I couldn't take down Fitch with a single because he was such a good single defense. But yeah, so that circle just went around and around, and then Swick couldn't grapple with any of us. and then
No.
and what's his name? The national champ. I just said his name.
Jake Shields?
Koscheck?
Yeah,
Koscheck.
Koscheck. Oh,
And
yeah.
Koscheck, he was just a wrestling freak. But his grappling wasn't there yet, as far as when you're training grappling. So it was an awesome like room to be in at that point too. So
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of competitive and even the words too. Like those guys all talk trash.
yeah,
Like that had been a hard room to be in for sure.
That was fun. I loved it.
So one of your former students, Adam McDonough,
Yeah.
went 11-1, lost his last fight, but I remember watching him fight regionally. It appeared he had a high ceiling. What made him stop?
He lost. I mean, it's stupid as it sounds, but I literally believe that's what it is. I mean, I've trained with and coached many like good athletes, right? From All-Americans to national champions to Olympians. Like he had the best timing. He wasn't the best athlete. He wasn't the smartest IQ. He wasn't the powerfulest guy, but he had just great timing. Kind of not to compare him to, but like GSP had good timing. He could feel those hooks coming in, and like he just understood
Mechanics. Okay.
timing. Like
Yeah.
it was just weird. It was amazing.
Was he done with the gym as well after his loss, or
No, he still trained, but he had double shoulder surgery after his fight in Bellator in the finals. And then honestly, he gained a bunch of weight, and I just think he kind of lost the fire, and he had a good job. He was making six figures.
okay?
So there was
His
no,
hobby was over. The hobby was
yeah,
over. Okay.
and it was kind of like get back and do it all over again. And he realized he's a 55 pounder because once he fought in that tournament, you had to stay fight ready and never blown up. And he literally was on weight a week before the fight just from training. So, and he didn't really want to make that cut down. And after getting beat by the Russian, it was kind of deflating. And it's like, so I think he just kind of was happy with where he got. He had a great job, had kids, wife, everything was good. So I think it's like a good sort of ending. I mean, I would have liked to see him go out on a win with a win and see where his top would have
Ceiling. Yeah, ceiling would have been. He just needed really one or two more fights, and he was in the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, he was because him and Tony and Adam McDonough were at the same time. They're on the same rise, and they were teammates. And I was coaching them both. And Tony went to UFC, Adam went to Bellator, and I mean, Tony ended up having a pretty long UFC career, and I cornered him in every one of his fights. And Adam was right there with him, So, I mean, McDonough could have been, if he would have actually trained his butt off and been a 55 pounder, he could have been top 10 guy, probably, in my opinion.
Yeah, you also had a student, Angel Pacheco. He lost to Danny Silva on the Dana White Contender Series, and both of them got contracts. It was such a badass fight.
Yeah. Actually, just trained with Angel today. He's one of my kids. He just got his black belt last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my kids instructors. So him and I coach kids classes together. So yeah, no, that was an awesome fight, tough fight. I didn't like it because there's a lot of damaging blows to both guys, but got the contract and there we go.
You could say he did it. He's got it on his resume.
Right.
You're legit. You get that UFC contract, you're one of the top 1% in the entire world. That's it.
Right.
That's it. We're gonna wrap this up. Can I keep like two more questions? Would you mind?
You can ask me as much question. I got all night.
Right. Yeah, dude. I did. It's all right. So you lose to Fitch. Obviously, it's a decision.
Yep.
You get Shannon Rich, Extreme Challenge 66. I think I was at that card. Ray Perilous, you win by rear naked choke. You stop Shannon Rich, and then you fight on a Twin Cities Throwdown, which was Nick Thompson's promotion.
Yep.
Joey we've got legends in the Midwest.
Kenneth Allen is one of them.
Oh, dude, he's been the first team All-American.
I'm looking him up.
What's his final record? Wait, hold up, Brock. Don't write this down. What's his final record?
Officially, he is 1 win and 43 losses. 32 losses by submission.
Did he beat Brock?
He did not beat Brock. No,
it's not
Brock is not his one.
That would have been great.
The backstory behind that.
He's always a last-minute replacement. Go ahead.
Nick Thompson and I made a deal. I'd fight for him for free on his promotion if he came and fought for CFX for free. So at that time, we were doing shows at the Target Center. And they were big shows. And he's like, deal. He still owes me a fight. He never fought for me. So that's the backstory. He's like, we just want to get you on the card, sell some tickets. I'll do the same for you. And so that was our deal. But
he did you a huge solid. I mean, he couldn't have done any better.
But in all fairness, I should have paid him for the win, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Okay, so you guys, all the guys on the Midwest grind. So his one victory is a guy named Corey Simpson, who doesn't seem to be a worthless nobody. He's 21-22, a legit journeyman.
Here. What card was that on?
I got to go back.
Yeah.
Corey Simpson's record.
I think that may have been a fixed
MCC4.
Yeah, that was Ryan Hass's promotion. It was Ryan Hass's promotion. With Ryan, I respect Ryan. I mean, he kind of went off the deep end at one point. But what Ryan would do is, in certain instances, so guys wouldn't get banned, he would add wins to their records. I think he got caught doing that. I'm speaking out of term here.
One that was like they didn't even fight, and he just
that's what he would do. He would just add them so they wouldn't get like, oh, he's coming off a win.
Right.
What's his next fight after that? Is it MCC?
Let me go. Brutal Fight Night.
Because a Brutal Fight Night would have. That's Nick Gamst. Did he fight MCC after that? He may have done it as a solid for Gamst. Gamst may have paid him to put that win on his record so he could use it.
Yeah, I mean, Gamst ain't beneath that. I mean,
Gamst, and Hass certainly took money for that.
Yeah.
So Hass used to manage Jeremy Stevens. Little side note. I have no fucking idea why I still retain his shit.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, that is your road to the UFC.
Boom.
So we got to do a part 2 where we cover all the WEC stuff.
Dude,
it really gets good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Such a cool organization, man.
The way it went from, I've had 2 fights in the UFC, and then they asked me to move over, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And Monty's like, it's a good move, let's do it. Okay, go to WC, and then on free TV on Versus Network. It's like everybody knew me. Like that's where I got popular, and that's where I got all my sponsors, and that's where I got that saved my career.
You think about the WEC, like if you look at their fight cards. All right, so I'm almost done with UFC 1 through 50. Like I'm almost through with it. After it, I'm watching all of the WECs. If you watch some of those, Scott Jorgensen, those fight cards from the WEC, dude, legit. Benson Henderson,
right? They were fun. Like I think the fighters obviously weren't the same level necessarily. The young, the little guys were, but everybody fought hard. It was like a different feel. Like when you're at the UFC, you felt more like a cow. The cattle getting pushed through the crowd. And it was better than it is now. Now it's crazier. But the WC, like dealing with Melissa and don't tell me. Adams.
Scott
Adams, and then
leg lock specialist Scott Adams.
My man, who's now working at the UFC. He's a super
from the pit. Reed Harris.
WC.
Reed Harris?
Reed Harris, thank you. Gosh dang it.
Whenever I see Reed, keep stumping us, dude. Come on, bring it.
We'll still sit and talk. Me and Reed will talk about the old days. But yeah, that was a different feel. Like
I'm gonna reach out to him for a WEC deep dive. Reed Harris.
Yeah, you should. And tell him Brock sent you.
I'll definitely do that. So you like in your career, you preferred the WEC, huh?
I loved it. It was like, because I was a fucking little redneck from fucking Brainerd, Minnesota, and the UFC was a lot, and you had Dana White swearing at you all the time, and you're like, geez, this guy's crazy. We're gonna go and fucking fight and fucking kill somebody and fucking fucking A. But act like a gentleman, because at that point the sport's under scrutiny. We got to act like gentlemen, but fucking kill them. You know, it's like And then WC was like, hey, have a sweatshirt, have a hat, like
Tap out reality show.
Like the little things they did that was awesome.
And Miguel Torres cut his teeth there. Like WEC was awesome.
WC was fun. Yeah,
it was really cool. What about Brad Kohler? How did you not get wrapped into his circus ever?
I was told the first day I mentioned fighting, everybody said, stay away from Kohler. He screwed over Menne, he screwed over Sherk, he screwed over this guy, stay away from Kohler. He'll fake a heart attack. I mean, I was at some of his shows, but I didn't fight. I never fought for him.
Would you mind telling our audience about faking the heart attack?
Well, yeah.
Were you there? Were you there?
I was at that event. Yeah.
Nice.
I think Sherk fought that night. Yes.
So did Travis View. Travis View did too.
Yeah. And
Big Papa Schnacky was the ring announcer.
Yeah. It was everybody. It was a huge show. And there was a ton of people there. And it was awesome. But he literally took the money box, faked a heart attack, got in an ambulance, went through the whole ordeal just so he didn't have to pay anybody. And I still this day don't know if Sherk ever got his money. I don't know if anybody ever got their money. I'm betting not, but yes. So never got caught up in any of the Brad Kohler stuff.
He traded his reputation for the money box.
He did.
Yeah.
It was probably worth a lot more to be at this point. Like he would like not bring a scale, and he would like hold people up, and he would, oh yeah, you guys seem like the same weight. You guys are gonna fight. Like he was the scale, like his
that was my so way back my first fight. That's what Travis View did. Because I was like, where's the scale? He's like,
Travis Fulton? Travis Fulton?
Sorry, Travis View. And Fulton picks me up, goes over and picks him up. Yep, you guys are close enough. I'm like, I look at my guys, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Yeah. So that was normal. I guess.
Yeah, a bathroom scale costs $19. Right. You couldn't even bring a bathroom scale.
Cheaper then. Yeah.
I say it all the time. Like I was promoting, well, you guys were too, before the commissions, right?
Yeah. It's great. Golden era.
Way easier to make money then, right? I mean, it was great. You could do whatever you want, fight whoever you want. But in all fairness, I am so glad we have a commission.
Yes.
To regulate this nonsense, because you would have people fighting out, coming out of the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, you can fight, okay. And I mean, it was
so Mark Hall in California, early UFC vet, used to have the Cobra Fighting Federation. Joey used to go to those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up fights would start in the audience, and they'd separate them and they'd throw them in the ring and let them fight there.
That's awesome.
You can't do that with a commission.
Intergender matches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Warming up next to the Pac-Man machine, smoking.
Yep.
And everybody's smoking in the Pac-Man machine. You're warming up, getting ready to fight. And they're like, okay, they call your name. It's like, all right, let's go. And yeah, that was crazy time. The cowboy days, the Wild West.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a 50 Fight Club member, dude. Like it's a rare distinction, man. It's a rare. No. Think about this. Who's the next person that's going to get 50 fights? Like these up and comers. It's
They're
too
not getting
difficult
3 in one day anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's I had a cheat code because I had 2 8-man tournaments. I had 1 4-man tournament. It's like
that's 8. Yeah.
And I felt like I was pretty active when I wasn't active.
Or 7.
So, like, to get to
3,
50.
6, 8. Yeah, dude. 50 Fight Club members is very, very difficult, man. It's like even some of the Iowa guys. If I ever see a 50 Fight Club member, I don't give a shit who you are. Kenneth Allen, I'm getting my picture with him.
Yeah.
Jay Ellis, get my picture with him. Absolutely, dude. I pay homage to those guys. Brock, absolute pleasure. Jeremy Bjornberg hooked this up for us. I'm really glad you guys are working together now. You can see, Joey, one of the things you're noticing recently in the UFC, there's a lot of guys from Minnesota that are just, they're getting groomed to get to the UFC with the exact fights that they need. Minnesota right now is a hotbed for mixed martial arts.
We're starting to get put on the map. Yep.
Yeah. Stephen Aspelin just got, fastest knockout in Dana White Contender Series history. Like it's in the women's Muay Thai scene.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about Minnesota where you can match 10 different women without having to bring anybody in from out of town. Like,
I know.
what?
I mean, I think there's more Muay Thai fighters than there is MMA fighters.
Yeah. Yeah. The Muay Thai scene in Minnesota is I don't know what California looks like, but it's impressive in Minnesota. Yeah. Anyway, Brock, I look forward to seeing you. I think November's the next time you and I are going to cross paths. I sincerely appreciate this and your time, and we have a profound amount of respect for you and your career. Thank you, bro.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
See you on part 2.
Yes,
All
yeah.
right, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, part 2.
Joey, we're coming up on 300 episodes.
Yeah, we are. Got to do a big one for that. What do you got in mind?
Probably just going to call up Hickson. I'll probably either do either Hickson, Matt Hughes,
or Shannon Rich.
I think actually Shannon Rich would probably be a really good interview.
He would. He fought all over the place.
Especially if he was honest, he'd be really good. Especially like we mentioned Brad Kohler. He fought on a show in Russia that like was in Michigan, but they had a check in on Facebook. Check in on Facebook Center in Russia. So we're coming up on 300. I know I got a verbal on Art Davie. We can discuss UFC 3, which is we can get another sometime about Harold Howard. Not that one. It's
UFC 3 is like the wildest card ever. They got a 616 pounder in there. It's a piece of history.
Yeah, Keith Hackney. That's gonna be pretty cool. We could probably dive a little bit in a foreign. And you got to keep in mind he doesn't do podcasts. Right. He will do ours as long as I don't ask too much. Right. So this would be his third appearance with us. I think I got a line on Nate Diaz, Junior Dos Santos. I definitely got a line on those, whether they come through or not, I don't know, but they're definitely going to be asked. But for 300, we got to do something special with that. We bring Lytle in and we do the end of his career and just kind of bullshit about some of the guests and stuff like that.
That would be poetic since he was here in the beginning.
Yeah.
How many, out of 1,000 podcasts, how many do you think make it to the 300th episode? I don't think it's very many.
No. And if you look at our numbers, all right, YouTube is different. We're not going to count YouTube. But if you look at our Spotify numbers and our Apple numbers, a single drop probably gets in the first week right around 700, just under 700 downloads.
Right.
And that puts us in the 7 or 8% of all podcasts.
The top 7%.
Top 7%.
Yeah.
But it's a really steep hill from there on up. We're at that point right now where it either explodes and we do 2,000-3,000 downloads an episode, or it just kind of levels off.
Right.
That's where we're at. And the little YouTube stuff that we've got going on right now, if you're watching us on Spotify and Apple, we've got some additional content on YouTube that's phenomenal.
Yeah, little mini documentaries of old school fighters. It's getting a lot of attention. It's doing really good.
Yeah, and our trivia questions that we're doing once a week. You're really hitting home on that as well. Your answers on that. Those are fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just little. We're giving you a trivia question, but we're giving you history too. And then tell you don't feel bad because you have a life and don't know this shit.
Yeah, you might have a girlfriend if you don't know this.
It's true. It's true. So share, subscribe. I hate to even ask that, but I think we're supposed to ask it throughout the podcast. For 300 is when we got to kind of change formats. We got to get rid of the beginning, update it, and we're going to have live reads where masters of martial arts are going to be plugging that. We're going to be plugging theonlyground.com. I think we got to change some of our stuff in our bio as well. Our Discord is going to be the Only Ground. Like if anyone wants to chat with us and bullshit, we're going to go to the Only Ground. I don't want our own Discord. I'd rather just kind of go where I go, currently. Yeah, other than that, everything's good, dude. Who else here? Give us some California guys. Can you get Tyson Griffin?
I don't know Tyson Griffin, but I can check with Charlie Valencia. I mean, we might have inroads there. Romy from Millennia Jiu-Jitsu, Aram, he'll be a good
Romy
one.
would be great.
Yeah.
Hey,
I still run into him at like local shows. And
Romy?
Yeah.
Oh, we should have had him already then.
I don't make it to shows as often as I used to, but I think I can get him.
I'd like, if anybody listening to this has got connections to the Hawaii scene, I'd like to get Cabbage at some point. Bob Ostovich, I got his phone number. I might give Bob a call.
Did you do Ronald Gunn before I came on?
Ronald Machine Gun? No, dude.
John, a great one.
He would be. And even towards the end of his career, which is kind of ugly, it's the exact opposite of the beginning of his career. I think there's a really interesting story there.
Yeah.
But that early Hawaii scene, that was
the old
huge.
Jesus is Lord team.
Yeah, that's Bob Ostovich, dude.
Yep. Yeah, he'll be a good one.
300.
300 will be a good one.
When did you come on?
Savant Young. I think it was like 129 or something. I got to look it up, but I've been around for half of them.
Yeah, I know Miguel's last episode with me was Coleman, even though one aired prior or one after. Like it was Coleman and then after, but that after aired before. So whatever Coleman Pride Grand Prix was, that was his last. I took a couple months off and then I started doing them solo. And I think you stumbled across one of the interviews and
161 was my first one.
Okay.
But yeah, I stumbled across the podcast and then I started emailing Chris. I started Chris Lytle trying to get Larry Landless an interview with you guys because I wanted his story to be told. And that's how we linked up, is that I was trying to get you that
Landless. What number is Landless?
Yeah, I gotta look it up. He's probably 150, something like that. 155. But
Yeah,
I wasn't on that one. I just brokered it.
I asked you to come in on it because I'm like, yeah, dude, do you want to sit in? Because we had a lot in common in regards to the regional scenes. Yeah.
I think I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous to jump on for the first few. Hey man, I was starstruck.
That we understand.
Yeah. Well, I'm over that, by the way.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like when I went to your house, like you wouldn't allow me to be alone with the wife. You're like, no, I got to be here. But I'm glad we've moved. I'm glad we've moved past that.
I don't know. It's my kids. I wouldn't leave you alone.
No. Kids are fine. Kids are fine. Kids are good. No, it's good shit, dude. It's good shit. We're doing good stuff. We're documenting history. I tell you, like I'm on the road a lot with BKFC, and it's shocking to me. It's like we don't have a huge audience, but the audience we do have, it's mostly industry people.
Yeah.
Like, and I see like commissioners, judges, referees. We get a lot of industry people.
Yeah, I get listeners reach out to me on like Facebook or Instagram, and like you said, our audience isn't that big, but they're very dedicated. They ask me obscure questions about an episode 3 months ago, and I appreciate that. I'm glad somebody's listening.
Yeah. I mean, they're sharing too. It'd be a little nice to turn that volume up.
Nicer, yes.
What I think also is we got to tell our editor, those things where it says like, share, subscribe, and it's just kind of like a bing.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have to start adding that like every 30 minutes. So you'll probably see it twice, 3 times, maybe at the most.
Right.
At the beginning. Yeah. So all right, dude. And if you guys got any suggestions, please. I want to hit some Dutch guys as well. I mean, although our audience has I think Remco Pardew might be our only Dutch listener. Right. I do, dude. I love that Dutch scene. I love it.
So hit us up in the comment section. Tell us who you want to hear next. I can't guarantee we'll land the interview, but we will try for you.
Can I tell you one more thing, dude?
Tell me.
All right. We had this guy, MMA Lore, on YouTube. Took a whole bunch of our stuff, made a documentary about with 95% our material about Gerald Strebent, what took place, got a couple 100,000 views, and cut you and I completely out of it. So it was just like he used nice AI narration, cut us completely out, used Strebent as if he did it. And I'm like, dude, we're in actually talks right now in regards to that footage. Too early to talk about, but let's just see. There's people that are interested in it.
Right.
So I make a comment on his page, and I said, "Hey, dude, I really wish you would have contacted me before you did this. I would suggest you take it down." Well, I really like your podcast, blah, 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 blah. And then like his buddies
then
would
reach out to us and talk to us first.
Right. So then his buddies got in there. Well, you should have thought of it first. Ha ha ha. You know, you're too stupid. He really kind of like shitting on me.
Right.
And it's just like, okay. So I had our guy in the United Kingdom hit it with not like a strike. In other words, take our shit down. You know, you're not doing 95% of your documentary is not our stuff. You're not creating anything. You're replicating. Like if you go away, I'm still here. If I go away, you don't know what to do. You got no idea what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So we kind of threw a shot at him at one of the interviews, and YouTube, because it was my account that he struck from the United Kingdom, they banned my account, not his account. I dealt with AI, and dude, I didn't use this account. I used my personal account, set my ID, did everything that they asked for. And they're like, are you sure? Are you sure? And it was AI. It wasn't even a real human being.
Right.
I got the ban hammer. Okay. I'm not done with this yet. I hit my other guy who's kind of got some footage on there as well, who I'm really good friends with. I just said, hey, dude, strike it. I go, I got to deal with some bullshit with YouTube. I need you to strike it. He goes, okay. 2 days later, he calls me up. Man, this guy's freaking out. What do you want me to do with the strike? Let me just let it go as long as he takes it down. And I said, no. You have him call me.
Yeah.
He's listening right now. MMA Lore's listening right now because he called me up and no, not yet. Okay. Not yet. You will, because it's about to get interesting. And he doesn't know this yet. He's going to find out in real time. So he calls me up, and he's European, very polite. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't get a word in, but my guy who has got the rope around his neck said, yeah, he's probably going to lose his account. I guess he's got a couple other strikes. He's having some issues. It's probably it for him. I said, okay, just have him call me. So I for sure can be an asshole. For sure.
I've heard that about you.
No, that's true. That's true. And so what I do is I go, hey, dude, this is what you did. You took my comment down. I told you to take it down. I gave you another 3, 4, 5 days. You didn't do it. I go, let's just talk about that. I'm so sorry.
Right.
I go, no. I want to talk about that. I asked you. If you'd have been like, hey, man, I got caught up in it. I was getting views. People were kissing my ass. I kept seeing that number go up.
Right.
I would have been like, I'm like, okay, but you didn't, he didn't say any of that. He just kept saying, I'm sorry. I hang up the phone on him. So now, this is where the game gets played. See, a guy like that who can't create anything, he can just kind of knows algorithms and just poach it. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is your opportunity to kind of make good. So I know he didn't sleep that night. Like, you can just kind of feel it.
Right.
And I wait 24 hours. And the next day, I shoot him a text. And I said, hey, dude, let's just figure this out. Give me a call. It says red. No phone call.
No call.
Okay. That's the test. The conversation was nothing.
Right.
That's the test. The guy that got the video taken down, he's not going to strike him. He doesn't give a shit.
Right.
That's cool. You know what I mean? Hey, it's a fucking game. Who gives a shit? Here's the issue. In the next week, my account's getting straight and my strike is coming.
It could have been worked out a lot easier.
You know what I was going to do? This is what I was going to do. All right, dude. What'd the video make? Let's just say it was 5, 6, 7. Let's just call it $1,000, which probably it wasn't that much. Even if it made $1,000, I would have said, just cut it in half.
Right.
You did the work. It was my videos. I think that would have been the fair thing to do. Not, I want 100% of it. Nah. I'm an asshole, but I'm not that big of an asshole.
Right.
Give me half. Give me half. That's what I would have said had we had the conversation.
But he went the other route instead. Now.
So now. This is what the next step is. I'm not letting that strike go unless he comes on here for an after show. And he's going to apologize. We're going to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
And then it's over. And you can keep the money, but you're coming on here.
So he didn't even give us credit. He didn't do what MMA On Point does, where they at least say, hey, check these guys out. They're doing great work.
I think he did the minimal, which I don't even know where that's at. Like, if you look in the bio, it's not in the bio. Like, I don't even know where to find that. I don't know. I no clue. I mean, I'm not real savvy, obviously. Otherwise, this thing would be huge. Neither of us, for that fact. But the only way that strike is coming off
is if he comes on.
And you guys are going to watch him apologize.
All right.
Yeah. You know what we should do? We should do it live. We can let our audience go off on him.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do, like a pinata. Come on, guys. Take your best shot at this shit.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm
looking forward to it.
Yeah, that might be one of the giveaways. Anybody that does it, I think that's one of the things that we're going to do. We're going to start striking everybody and forcing them to come on and apologize on the after show.
I'm just glad your anger management classes are working out well, Mike.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. We can't let people fucking do.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man. And he was repeating. And he was repeating things that you and I had said at the end of the last podcast. I should have called you. I should have done this. I should have done that. And that was things that you and I had said. So I know he listens.
Yeah.
Which it's cool. Like, listen, we don't have a lot of listeners. I'm not trying to lose one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If you don't want to lose him, having him on as a pinata, I don't know. But is that good retention?
Nah, he's got to take his medicine. He's got to take his medicine.
All right. Well, I know I'll be here.
So you'll be the mediator. Yeah.
I'll be, yes.
You'll probably be the level-headed one. So, Joey, always a pleasure, brother. See you next week.
All right.
See you there.